पुलक शरीरा हरि हरि बोलिते ना नयन बाबनीरा लीते हबे पुलक शरीरा हरि हरि बोलिते नयन बाबनीरा आर का बेनिता चंद करुणा होई बे संसारा बसाना मोरा कबे तू चाहोगे चंद करुणा होई बे संसारा बसाना मोरा कबे तू चाहोगे विषया छरिया कबे शुद्ध हो बेमाना कबे हम हेराबो श्री बिंदवाना विषया छरिया कबे शुद्ध हो बेमाना कबे हम हेराबो श्री बिंदवाना रूप रघुनाथ पदे होइबे आकुति कबे हम बुझा बोसे युगल परीति रूप रघुनाथ पदे होइबे आकुति कबे हम बुझा बोसे युगल परीति रूप रघुनाथ पदे रहु मोर आशा प्रार्थना करो सदा नरोत्तम दासा रूप रघुनाथ पदे तुमोरा आशा प्रार्थना करो सदा नरोत्तम दासा गौरंगा बोलीते हबे पुलक शरीरा हरि हरि बोलीते नयन बाबनीरा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Jai, just want to read the translation. When will that opportune moment come to us? When there will be shivering of the body as soon as we chant Lord Gauranga's name while chanting Hare Krishna? When will there be tears in the eyes? Second, when will I obtain the mercy of Lord Nityananda Chandra? When by his mercy will the desire for material enjoyment become very insignificant? When the mind is completely purified, being freed from material anxieties and desire, then I shall be able to understand Vrindavan and the conjugal love of Radha and Krishna, and then my spiritual life will be successful. When shall I be very much eager to study the books left by the six Goswamis, headed by Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami? By their instruction, I shall be able to properly understand the loving affairs of Radha and Krishna. My only aspiration is to attain the lotus feet of six Goswami, headed by Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. Narottam Das Thakur constantly pray to attain their lotus feet. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, I would like to welcome you all for our today's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita class. Today we are reading from Adi Lila, chapter 2, entitled Swayam, Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's not mentioned here in the book. Yes, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Today we're going to read out from text number 68 till text number 86. So I think it's quite a long 18 shlokas are there. So I will read by myself. So please kindly be attentive. Sab avatara, which is text number 68. Sab avatara kari samanya lakshana tara madhe Krishna Chandra rera kai lagana. Translation. The Bhagavatam describes the symptoms and deeds of the incarnation in general and counts Sri Krishna among them. So what is happening here at this moment? Srila Kavidas Goswami Maharaj, he is explaining in this chapter, because the chapter itself is says Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the personality of Godhead. He picked up a very famous shloka, which is the Prabhashutra shloka of the whole Srimad Bhagavatam, and quite famous. Ete chamsa kalhapumsa krishnastu bhagavan swayam indriyari vyakulam lokam mriddayanti yuge yuge, which is text number 67, which the speaker spoke last week. And from today's onward, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he's going to explain that how there are different opinion of the different philosophers and different sages, even though they are practicing spirituality. But they quote different Puranas and different Shastras, which there is a conflict, or it says sometimes Narayan is superior than Krishna, or Krishna is superior than Narayan. So he is going to bring all those points into these 18 shlokas there, and we will see how it's established the supremacy that Krishna is the source of everyone. Text number 69. This made Sutta Goswami greatly apprehensive. Therefore, he distinguished each incarnation by its specific symptoms. Text number 70. All the incarnation of Godhead are plenary portions or parts of the plenary portion of the Purusha avatars. But the primeval Lord is Shri Krishna, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the fountainhead of all incarnation. Text number 71. An opponent may say, this is your interpretation. Those who likes, of course, we know that from Srimad Bhagavatam that Narayan is a portion, is a part of Lord Shri Krishna. If you have studied very carefully Canto 2 and Canto 3, it has very beautifully described Krishna on his right hand side. His first incarnation is, or first expansion is Balramji. And from Balramji comes the first quadruple expansion. What are those? Vasudev, Sankarshana, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. And from that first Sankarshana, which is called Mula Sankarshana also, Narayan comes. And from Narayan, the second quadruple expansion comes, which is another set of Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. And from that second Sankarshana, and what's been called? Mahasankarshana. Yeah? And from that Sankarshana comes the first Purusha Avatara. And who is he? Mahavishnu or Karnodakshayi Vishnu. And from that Karnodakshayi Vishnu, who comes? The second Vishnu, which is called Garbhodakshayi Vishnu. And from that second Vishnu comes Shirodakshayi Vishnu and Brahmaji also, from his navel. And you can see the position of Narayan there, where he stands for. But it is good. Narayan is Krishna. Krishna is Narayan. Krishna is Adi Narayan. He's Adi Vishnu. He's Adi Rama. Adi Narsingha. He's Adi. He's the source of everything. That's where the Srimad Bhagavatam established his supremacy. He is the source of everything. If you see all other incarnation, they are holding some kind of a weapon just to perform their duties. A couple of weeks back, I was just listening to Srila Prabhupada lecture, and he was saying there is one English person from British. He just went there to India to do some spiritual research, and he went to many temples. Okay? That was his like a jiva of this material world. He says he been to many temples, and he came finally, he says Krishna is God. He says, how can you say that? Krishna is God. He says, I've been to many temples and I saw all those divine personalities, they were holding some kind of a weapon in their hand. Means they are ready to perform some duty, some service. But I didn't see Krishna holding any kind of a weapon. He's just holding a flute and enjoying his pastime. So the God means boss. Boss is always enjoy. If you see, like in a chowkidar, like chowkidar means like watchman in India, any guard, any safety guard. If you see, they always carry some guns or some kind of a bamboo stick or some kind of a weapon just to do their service. If you go outside the bank in India, there are some security guards are over there. They are holding the bullet belt there, holding guns and many other facilities. But the boss is inside, he's in the air conditioner, he's enjoying his life. That's how, but that's a conclusion of a material person. But if we see the conclusion of the great sages like Brahmaji, Shivaji, and many other great personalities, they all saying, Ishvara, Parama, Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha, Anadir Adir Govinda, Sarva Karanam. He is the source and he is the cause of everyone. Even Lord himself says in Canto 1, chapter number 1 and the verse number 1. What is that? Muhyanti yat surya. Janmadya. Om namo bhagavate vasudeva. Janmadya yasya yataha anvayad itarasthas chartheshvi abhigya swarad. Tene brahma hirdaya adi kaviye muhyanti yat surya. Tejo vari mardan yatha vinamayo atrati samga amrisha. Dhamne svena sada nirasta kuhukam satyam param dhimahi. Muhyanti. That whatever he performs, whatever he does, even the great sages and great demigods, they get bewildered. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord so beautifully said, Name vidu suragana prabhavam cha maharishya aham adir hi devanam maharishiram cha sarvashaha. That Name vidu suragana means ki demigod, not the sages, can understand me because I am their source. They have come from me. They don't know me. Until unless I allow them to know me. Then how do we know Krishna? Only by His own sweet will. If He blesses us, if He empowers us, then only we can know Krishna. Otherwise, it's not possible. Because He is the source. He is the Karan of everything. Even in this chapter where it says Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, many times He has been considered as avatar and He has been considered as avatari both. Avatar and avatari. Prabhupada writes the golden avatar, yes? Golden, Hemanga avatar. Golden avatar, but the incarnation of a golden man or golden God. This is the avatar and avatari both. Usually he is avatari. He is the source of everything. But when he comes, many people, they say he is avatar. Nothing wrong in there. But he is also avatari. He is the source of that. Text number 71. An opponent may say, this is your interpretation, but actually the Supreme Lord is Narayan, who is in the transcendental realm. Text number 72. He, Narayan, incarnates as Lord Krishna. This is the meaning of the words as I see it. There is no need for further consideration. Text number 73. To such a misguided interpreter, we may reply, why should we suggest such fallacious logic? An interpretation is never accepted as evidence if it opposes the principle of scriptures. Have you seen in India, especially like the Western people, they are completely straightforward because they didn't have any access to the Vedic scripture. When Prabhupada came and when he introduced and he established the supremacy of Lord Sri Krishna, they humbly accepted, which was nothing wrong, perfectly right. Okay, because they were blank, they were completely blank in their page. So whatever you write, when in the beginning, they immediately accept it. But in India, everything is like hodgepodge. There are like so many demigods are there, and so many people are there to worship different divine personalities. So everyone say, no, my divine personality is a God. So it becomes very difficult to convince them, on the basis of Shastra. Because here in Chaitanya Charitamrita is saying that what is that? Interpretation. Interpretation is never accepted as evidence, especially mental concoction. Because I like it, I worship this personality, that's why he's God. No. A Shastric proof, a scriptural reference has to be there, whatever statement you are giving. It is not recommended and it is not allowed. Shri Shri Radha Govind Dev Ki Jai. In text number 74, one should not state a predicate before its subject, for it cannot thus stand without proper support. This rhetorical rule appears in the Ekadashi Tattva, 13th canto, in connection with the metaphorical use of words. An unknown object should not be put before the known subject because the object has no meaning if the subject is not first given. Text number 75. If I do not state a subject, I do not state a predicate. First I speak the former and then I speak the later. Text number 76. The predicate of a sentence, it is what is unknown to the reader, whereas the student is what is known to him. Text number 77. For example, we may say, this Vipra is a greatly learned Brahmana, man. In this sentence, the Vipra is the subject and predicate is his erudition. Text number 78. The man's being a Vipra is known, but his erudition is unknown, means his quality as a learned person. Therefore, the person is identified first and his erudition later. Text number 79. In the same way, all these incarnations were known, but whose incarnation they are was unknown. One time, Srila Prabhupada was mentioning, or actually one of the lecture I heard, the person was saying, if Prabhu, Palaka Prabhu, he sees me first, he knows me first before my father. So does it mean I am the source of my father? No. If we know other incarnation first, but does it mean that they are superior or they are the source of Lord Krishna because he came later? No. He was always existing in his Goloka Vrindavan. Every incarnation of the Lord, whichever millennium, whichever yuga, or whichever time, place and circumstances he took, there was a purpose to fulfill. There was a mission. Every incarnation has a mission to fulfill. We know in the pastime of Lord Rama, when he was walking in the exile in the forest, especially the Dandakarnya forest, where he met so many sages. And he was so handsome, so attractive, so beautiful. Those sages were running towards to Lord Rama to embrace him. I mean, a man is embracing a man because they were having a kind of a conjugal feeling in their heart. A man is feeling a conjugal feeling towards other man. It looks a bit weird. Okay? It seems like nowadays like a gay thing, you know. And Lord Ram hold them, hang on. Okay? In this lifetime, whatever role I'm playing as a Lord Rama, here, I have a particular mission to fulfill. You please kindly hold on. Okay? I have taken a vow of one Stri Vrata, just to be faithful to the one wife. But I will fulfill all your desire in my next avatara, in my next incarnation, or in my next full-fledged when I will come. And what is that? I will come in my full-fledged, in my original Swarupa, which is Swayam Bhagavan, Shri Krishna. And in that, you will take birth as a gopis, as a female in my village, and you will partake in my pastime. And whatever you have conjugal desire, and I will fulfill you all. Because rules and regulation of this material world doesn't apply to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not at all. He may want, take it, or he may want, don't take it. It's up to him because he is Swarata. Swarata means he's completely independent to do anything. Prabhupada gives an example of a great general or a great superintendent, a person who is in charge of the prison. When he comes to the prison, the people who are already inside the prison, those who are prisoners, they think, hey, this general, he's just like us. We are also in the prison and he's also in the prison. But my dear Prabhu, you have been forced into the prison and you have been called a prisoner. You are bondage. You are going through with the punishment. But this general, he came out of his sweet will just to see what is happening in his own kingdom. And he is coming his own way and he will go by his own way. But you have been forced to come here because you did some mischievous. And you will be get out when you will complete your punishment. And that is what it happens to us Jiva. We have been come to this world, in a material world, to fulfill or to finish our punishment. And when we see a Lord is coming as a human, which he himself says, Bhagavad Gita, what he says? What is that? Naham Prakasha Sarvasya? No. When I come as an incarnation, as a human. Yeah, when fool drives, when I come as my human form. What's that Sanskrit shloka for that? I forgot, it just slipped from my mind. Anyway, so when he says ki a fool derides me when I come to the material world in my original human transcendental form. It looks like he's just like us. He's crying for his wife. He's crying for his children. And he's fighting for his wealth to protect his safety. He's exactly like us. No, not at all. It is completely transcendental. Janma, karma, chame, divyam. My birth and my activities either in this material world or any other material world. They all are completely transcendental. He is not forced to bound by his activity, but we are. That's why it says कि we need to offer all our activity at the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna. Yagyartho karmano anyatra loko karma bandhana. If you don't offer your activities at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, karma bandhana, there will be a bondage of your activity, and that will bring you again into this material world. Okay. Text number 80. First, the word ete. Ete, where did we hear this ete? Because we are just continuing. 67 verse was ete chamsa kalapumsa, which we picked up from 1.3.28 Srimad Bhagavatam. Ete means, before this verse, there were many verses, they were talking about the different incarnation of the Lord. So here it's been says, first the word ete means these incarnations which they were lined up, they were listed. They were like, I think 24 incarnations were mentioned there. Establishes the subject, the incarnation. Then plenary portion of the Purusha Avtaras follows as the predicate. Text number 81. In the same way, when Krishna was first counted among the incarnation, specific knowledge about him was still unknown. First they say Matsya Avtara, Kurma Avtara, Vara Avtara, so many other avatars were there, and they were saying, then, Balaram came, then Krishna came. Look at that, your Krishna is right somewhere in the bottom. So before him, so many other incarnation came. So that means Krishna is not the original. But now, the Prabhasha Sutra mantra, it's completely said, all this incarnation, ete chamsa kalapumsa krishnastu bhagwan sayam. I was just finished last month reading Laghu Bhagavatamrita by Rupa Goswami, and it has been divided into two parts. The first part, it fully explains about the Swayam Bhagwan, who is Krishna. Rupa Goswami very beautifully, he picked up so many shlokas from different scriptures, and he established why Krishna is the Swayam Bhagwan. Why he is not an incarnation. He is the source of all the incarnation. I mean, even the Rama, Narsimha, and many others were there. Even the Rupa Goswami. In Bhakti, Rasamrita Sindhu, the chapter itself calls 21 and 22, what was that? The quality of the 64 qualities of Lord Shri Krishna. The 50 qualities he mentioned, which is already mentioned in the Jivas, 50 qualities. And the 55 qualities, further, he mentions that it is also included in Krishna, but in Brahma and in Shiva also. And then he further includes another extra 5 qualities, which is in Krishna and in Lord Narayan also. And he says, furthermore, he says another 4, which completes 64 qualities. It's in Krishna, but not in Narayana. And what are those? Number 1, Lila Madhurya, Bhakta Madhurya, Venu Madhurya, and last one, Rupa Madhurya. His Lila, especially his childhood pastime. Where can you get the beautiful pastimes of Lord Krishna, especially in his childhood? I mean, pretty much sure you must have enjoyed the pastime of your 2 kids, twins. They're so little, whatever the, stupid, like not stupid, mischievous things they were doing, taking up the medicine, some pen in their mouth, and calling their dad and ma'am by, calling different name because they can't say daddy, they say dada, dada. It pleases the heart. Instead of putting the spoon in their mouth, they just put in their eyes, and that makes you laugh. You and your wife enjoy their pastime, playing with the ball, breaking down the curtains, tearing off the walls, and, writing everything on the walls with the pen. You got angry, but you also enjoyed their pastimes. So you can see, we as a jiva, if we can enjoy the pastime of our kids, what will happen to the Mother Yashoda and other cowherd, villagers, they are enjoying the transcendental part side of Lord Krishna and Balaram. How much they must be enjoying. But that is not available in any other incarnation. They just came. Nrsimha came, running out, tears off, broke the pillar, came off, pastime finished, go home. Varaha came out of the nostril, just like a chickpea, and suddenly he just became like a huge man, and he killed Hiranyaksha. And if you see many, Vamnadev came, came as a dwarf, took things, boom, 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 3 steps of land, finish off the game. Kurma came, put the whole big mountain, on the back, churn. Why? Because I was having a scratch feeling. Finish of the game. But the sweetest pastime of the Lord as a human in his childhood, such a notorious. But it was so enjoyable. They were angry also, but simultaneously they were enjoying the transcendental pastime. They were slapping the Lord also. They were chastising the Lord also. But the Lord says, even the chastisement of my mother, of the other gopis, are more superior to me, to your Vedic hymns, O Brahmaji. He says that. Brahmaji was just using all the big Sanskrit words to glorify Lord Krishna. He doesn't care. He didn't care. He likes the chastisement more superior than the Vedic hymns. I mean, can you believe it? We can't imagine. If the devotees are also enjoying the pastimes of the Lord, Lord is also enjoying the pastime with his devotee. He didn't even care. He didn't even look at Brahmaji. He was eating with his left hand. And we have been chastised. Why do you eat with your left hand? You have to eat, this. Devotees, he is eating his lunch. They say, Krishna, open your mouth and close your eyes. I'm going to feed you what my mom has cooked. And suddenly he just opened and they put some piece of grass in his mouth. And they laugh. Krishna says, what have you done? I thought you're going to feed me some sandesha, some sweet, anything. You put some grass in my mouth. They also laugh. Krishna also laugh. Another pastime, it's happened at Kamsa's arena. When Kamsa called Balaram and Krishna to come and fight with other, professional wrestlers. So one of the friend of Krishna, he been to his maternal grandmother's house. He was already there in the arena. He saw, hey, these 2 people looks like my great friend. They are Krishna and Balaram, but they are quite far. What they did, they saw Krishna and Balaram killing all the wrestlers just like an ant. Like a child, he plays with an ant and he just squeezed the ant like that, or with his feet or like that. But they were so big wrestler like a mountain. Krishna Balaram like a 7-8 years old child. And everybody was praising them. Wow, wow, wow. And he says, hang on a sec. No, Krishna Balaram, they are not Krishna Balaram. Because I used to defeat Krishna Balaram in wrestling. And how they can defeat this big wrestler? And he jumped into the arena and he started fighting with Krishna Balaram. And he fight with Krishna Balaram and he defeated them. And he says, yes, they are Krishna Balaram. They are my friend because I have defeated them. I mean, what a sweet relation. Krishna Balaram, he killed a big elephant. They killed 7, 8 all the wrestlers plus their other friends. They killed Kamsa. And now this tiny little Gopa comes. And he does a mock fight with Krishna Balaram and he puts them on the ground and sit on their chest and he says, no, they are Krishna Balaram. Why? Because I have defeated them. Such a beautiful person. That's a childhood. And second one, Bhakta. Bhakta Madhurya. He's always surrounded among his devotees. If you see other incarnation, not very much. He's either with his cows, with the trees, with the peacocks, with other gopas, gopis, mother. He's never been alone. Third one, Venu Madhurya. His beautiful flute. When he plays, everybody stuns. River, which is a nature to flow, stuns like a stone. Doesn't move. And the stones, which are like, like hard, they can't move, they start melting. The cows, they are feeding their calves milk, they stop giving. I mean, whatever they are doing, they just stuns there by hearing the flute of Lord Shri Krishna. And the last one, Rupa Madhurya. his own sweet, beautiful, attractive form. Who will not get attracted? Even in Dwarka, he saw himself in the mirror. I mean, there was no mirror. I said there were like crystal pillars made of gems where you can see like a proper mirror. Krishna saw himself, his own reflection. He says, who is this handsome and most attractive man? I mean, he's telling himself. So what will happen to the other jivas? Gopis are there, parents are there, we are there. I mean, we don't have that much eyes to now because we don't have love for now. We are trying to develop the love. But those who have premanjana churita, bhakti, those who have the ointment of love in their eyes, when they see Krishna, they don't see anything else. Everything becomes shunya. Govinda virhena me. That is the power of Lord Krishna. And that power, it doesn't have in any other incarnation here. Let's move on to text number 82. Therefore, the word Krishna appears as the subject, followed by the predicate, describing him as the original personality of Godhead. Text number 83. This established that Shri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. The original personality of Godhead is therefore necessarily Krishna. 84. Had Krishna been the plenary portion and Narayan the primeval Lord, the statement of Sutta Goswami would have been reversed. Thus, he would have said, Narayan, the source of all incarnation, is the original personality of Godhead. He has appeared as Shri Krishna. Now, last one, 86. Translation. Mistakes, illusions, cheating, and defective perception do not occur in the sayings of the authority sages. Means those who have been Krishna's pure devotee, okay, such as Vyasdev, Sukadev Goswami, Sutta Goswami, Brahmaji, Naradi, they have, by the blessings of the Lord, they are speaking about the Lord. So in their speech, in their presentation, it cannot be any mistake, illusion, cheating, or defective perception. Some people say, oh, Vyasdev might have understood wrong. Narayan is the supreme. Okay? Yes, one sense you can say. Why? Because Krishna, when he is in the office, he is Narayan or Vishnu. When the same Krishna, he is at home, he is in original form. So which one is more sweeter? The office relation or the home relation? Which one? Office is like what? Formalities. Like, let's take the example of President of USA. Okay? He is so official in his office, wearing a suit boot, talking in a proper manner, picking up the phone, sitting like a gentleman, like as you sit with your proper president thing, position, speaking, giving a speech like a president, walking like a president, acting like a president. You can't mock with him, you can't joke with him. But if the same person is at home, he must be scolded by his wife. He must be scolded by his children. Children or grandchildren may be sitting on his head. Daddy, maybe wife says, go get some grocery, buy this for me, this for that. So that's a casual relationship. That's what the relationship of Shri Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan. Because there's two spiritual worlds. One is Vaikuntha and another one is Goloka Vrindavan. So Goloka Vrindavan, when Lord is there, he is in original form, sweet form. That is what's there? Madhurya, Prema Madhurya is there. But Aishwarya is there in Vaikuntha. But Aishwarya, Goloka Vrindavan Vasis, they don't care. You may be wearing so many crowns of, bedecked by so many jewels, so many stones. We don't care. One time, there is a pastime, Mother Yashoda, she put Lord Krishna a very heavy crown, like made of gold or some jewels. Okay? Krishna went with his friend out there. And they say, Krishna, why are you wearing this golden helmet on your head? Don't you feel it's so heavy? Just take them off. He says, what are you going to do? We're going to make a very nice crown for you. They took off the gold. If nowadays, if we see, oh my God, gold crown, we can just, steal it or just take it away. He threw it away. He didn't care. What they did, they took the flowers from the forest. And they made a crown for Krishna. If you see our Krishna, he just wear the crowns of like a forest leaf, okay, a very light flower. They say this is light. It will not give a big burden on your head. So much they care for Krishna. Krishna, why are you wearing this so many heavy, pearls, necklaces and all these things? Take them off. We will make a very nice Vajanti mala, Gunja mala, like the garland of the forest flower, because they are fresh. So he has a reciprocation with every living entity, whether they are human or they are in the body of a tree, flower or plants, because he reciprocates everything. So the translation, so the purport goes like that. Srimad Bhagavatam has listed the avatars, the plenary expansion of the Purusha, and Lord Krishna appears among them. But the Bhagavatam further explains Lord Krishna's specific position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Since Lord Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, reason and argument establishes that his position is always supreme. Had Krishna been a plenary expansion of Narayana, the original verse would have been differently composed. Indeed, its order would have been reversed. But there cannot be mistakes, illusion, cheating, or imperfect perception in the words of liberated sages. Therefore, there is no mistake in this statement that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Sanskrit statement of Srimad Bhagavatam are transcendental sounds. Srila Vyasadeva revealed this statement after perfect realization. After perfect realization. See, means that Vyasadeva didn't just come out of his own mental concoction. He has realized the subject matter very deeply, and then he put it into the writing. So it cannot be. And he is a literally incarnation of Lord Krishna himself. Who can give the information about Lord Krishna? Krishna himself. So how can there be a mistake about Lord Krishna if Krishna himself is speaking about himself? And therefore they are perfect. For liberated sages like Vyasadeva never commit errors in their rhetorical arrangement. Unless one accepts this fact, there is no use in trying to obtain help from the revealed scripture. Bharama refers to false knowledge or mistakes, such as accepting a rope as a snake or an oyster shell as gold. Pramada refers to inattention and misunderstanding of reality. Vipralipsa is the cheating propensity. Karana Patva refers to imperfectness of the material senses. There are many examples of such imperfection. The eyes cannot see that which is very distant or very small. One cannot even see his own eyelid, which is the closest thing to his eyes. And if one is disturbed by the disease like jaundice, he sees everything to be yellow. Similarly, the ears cannot hear distant sound. Since the Supreme Personality and his plenary portions and self-realized devotees are all transcendental situated, they cannot be misled by such deficiencies. See, a human is full of all these four faults, yeah? What are those four faults in humans? Commit mistakes, always in illusion, and their senses are imperfect, and cheating propensity. If the human being is full of these four things, so where can he come to the conclusion of saying, no, Krishna? First of all, there are degree of levels, okay? The lowest degree of level is, there is no God. Atheist. I don't believe in God. Something is there, that's why you don't believe. Means God is there, that's why you say, I don't believe in God. So that is your problem. What do we know about ourselves, and how can we give the statement or a commentary about the Supreme Lord which we cannot even perceive, which we haven't even heard, not even seen anything? If I haven't read any medical doctorate subject, how can I give my blind statement, this operation or the way you are doing, giving medicine to the patient, it will not work? How can I say? If I haven't been to any medical school, I haven't studied any medical practice, I haven't done anything, so how can I give this blank statement? One time, either in Ahmedabad or Hyderabad, when Srila Prabhupada was giving a lecture, and he finished this lecture, okay, and he said, is there any question? So somebody says, yes, Swamiji. He says, Swamiji, I cannot blindly follow or have a blind faith in your teaching. I cannot follow you blindly or your teaching blindly. Prabhupada says, oh, very intelligent questions. Yes, don't follow or what I say blindly, and don't reject my teaching blindly also. Things are there. Have practice. Give some time, because it's a science. It's an education. Spiritual life is an education. That's why Prabhupada says we need to grab this information in the bona fide sampradaya. A person who has studied. Have you ever seen in our school, our teachers, how they have become expert in particular subject? Like when we are student, then we have got 5, 6 subjects: English, mathematics, science, social science, philosophy, many other there. But to teach a particular subject, there are particular different teachers are there. Why? Because they have become expert by studying it. Have you ever seen a single teacher is teaching all the subject? Have you ever found any teacher in your school? One teacher is teaching all the 6 and 7 subject to the whole class. Because you cannot be expert in everything. If you have to, because every subject matter requires time, quality times, understanding, or under the expect guidance. We say, oh, Prabhu, you are a teacher. Yeah, in which subject you are a teacher? I'm an English teacher. Because he has studied English very, very deeply, theoretically. That's why he has become a very English teacher. He may guide you in other subjects, mathematics, 2 plus 2, 2 tables, this and that. He may guide you here and there about the mathematics. But if you know a deeper formula of that mathematics or a science or sociology, anything, you need to approach an expert, the person who is very expert. So that's why the spiritual life is also like that. There is a very expert teacher, he's there. So then why to approach the YouTube and many other things, or so-called, we see, oh, Swamiji has come dressing the change, a big beard, big long hair, oh, he's going to teach us. No, it doesn't work like that. Because truth always works. Truth always works. And the lie, today it is there, very sweeter, but after a few months, you can see what the reality comes out here. So there are different levels of degrees are there, people are there. Some are atheist, some are, want to, in between, they just want to have a balance. No, I'm not atheist. I don't know who God is, but I'm just neutral. So it's another level of people are there. And above them, no, I really want to have some spiritual practice. And above them, somebody desire to go more above. Above them, more above, more above, more above, more above. And Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudarlava. Manushyana Sahasreshu Kaschir Yatati Siddhe Yatatam Api Siddhanam Kaschir Mam Veti Tatvata. That out of so many, billions and billions of human beings, somebody desire to become, a spiritual person. And in that spiritual person, somebody desire to become a perfect yogi. Out of that yogi, somebody become an actual yogi. And in that yogi, a bhakti yogi is the superior. But that Atma, that soul, that jiva is very, very rare. It's been said by Lord Krishna. We can see even in this movement also, in Hare Krishna movement, we all are practicing. We are all connected to the right path. But we all have our individual goals to fulfill. No doubt, Sarvakama, Mokshakama, Udaradi, Tivrena Bhakti Yogena Yajeta Purisham Param. Even if you have a desire or no desire, anything you have, come and approach Lord Krishna. He will fulfill. But what's the point? We have to come back again, 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 and again. So better to be intelligent enough, void everything, make zero all your desire, have only one desire. the desire of your spiritual master, and which is the desire of his spiritual master, and his desire of his spiritual master, and all the way goes up to Lord Shri Krishna. That Atma is very, very rare. Even though in Brahma Samhita, Brahmaji himself say, Videshu durlabham adurlabham atma bhakto. Even though in the Vedas, it is very, very difficult to understand who is the Supreme Lord. Because people get bewildered by saying, he is also Father, he is also Father, he is also Father. Where to approach? If a person is going for a mental speculation to find out his own Father, how much time it will take him? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 7.7, Matha pratram na anyat kischid asti dhananjaya mai sarvam idam protam sutre manigana iva. Oh dear Krishna, oh dear Arjuna, there is no truth superior to me. He finished off the game here. There is no truth superior to me. Satyam param dhimahi. In Bhagavatam, the first verse, it says that the definition of the absolute truth. You know, in the Bhagavatam, because I just said in my previous class, I said in the introduction of the first line of Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada writes, there is a difference between a God and an absolute truth. And I was giving an example. God means Ishvara, controller. Okay? You may be a God of your house. You are controlling your wife, your kids, maybe few other employees in your office. Okay? But Krishna is the absolute. You may be God today, you may be controller today, but you were not controller before in your past. You may be not controller in the future. But Krishna is an absolute truth. In the past, he was there. In the present, he is there. And in the future, he will be there. He was a controller in the past, controller now. He will be the controller in the future. That's why it's been recommended. He is the absolute truth, Param Brahma. Absolute truth. And that absolute truth cannot be referred to anyone. It is only just been reserved for Lord Krishna himself. But God, you can say, I just said, who is the God of this temple at the moment? Temple president. Okay? But this temple president, he was not there in the past. There was somebody else. Now he's there. And future, he won't be there. Somebody else will be there. But at a certain period, he is playing a role of as a Ishvara, as a controller, as a God. Prabhupada says, you may be a God of your house, of your factory, or your office, of certain period, or for certain time. But you won't be there always. It will change. Yogo nashta parantapa. As the time moves, things get changed. But it doesn't happen with the Lord Krishna himself. He's always a Swayam Bhagwan. He's always a Swayam Bhagwan. Okay, just 5 minutes to go. If anybody has any questions, so I would like to take, or if you have any comments, any reflection, then I would be happy to answer or hear this.
Very nice class. I was appreciating what you were saying in regards to the experts, right? There's nobody that's teaching all the subjects. However, you want to go to some place where they're expert in it, right? And thinking about Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, what you were just reading about Narayan and the different expansions that occur. It's interesting to me because I was just now seeing some of the scientific advancements and now saying, hey, there's no way that this materialism can actually work.
Yes, yes.
Many issues.
Yes.
So it has to start with consciousness.
Consciousness,
right?
yes.
And naturally, Bhagavatam has been saying that for time immemorial.
Yeah.
But it's now you're starting to see a lot of different scientists that are coming up with their own theories, right, based off of the different modes.
That's right.
But they're getting closer, right? They're at least at the subtle level of saying it has to come from mind. Like
Yes.
It has to be some type of mind
Yes.
that's creating things. So they're getting closer, but then you can still see all the speculation.
Yeah.
Right? But it's like, go to a source where people have been maniacally focused and
Yeah.
maniacally expert on it, not
Yes.
just today, but for centuries in
Yeah.
their process of what the results of their conscious change has been well documented in an unbroken chain.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, and it's just like,
Yeah.
it's interesting because then you start seeing, okay, well, how do you know these different types of Purushas?
Yeah.
And all that, because these people have been maniacally focused at
Yes,
this level
yes.
past liberation, for centuries, going back to
Yeah.
their original source.
Yeah, as you said, because people have become in Kali Yuga so dumb and fool that Prabhupada says that even though they don't have that much piety, so they can observe the information from the scripture. Even to observe the information from the scripture, you must have a very good piety to understand. You must have some kind of intelligence. Previously, even if you read Mahabharata and many other, those time, people were materialistic that time also, but not as materialistic nowadays. So whatever education they were gaining, they were utilizing in the service of the Lord, even though they were materialistic. Even though whatever education they were gaining, those education in a previous times, even though it is a material education, those material education bring them closer to Krishna. But nowadays, the material education is taking far away from Krishna. Like if you see nowadays, people when they give some kind of information to their kids, I'm pretty much sure when you send your 2 kids to school, the first thing they might have got a phone number on their notebook. If your father or your mother beats you, call the police. I mean, that's the education. For the first and foremost education they got, if your father raise hands on you, call the police, my son, immediately, get him into the jail, and you are free to do whatever you want. I mean, you are breaking down the freedom or the protection of a child, sending the father to the jail. Or here we read Chaitanya Charitamrita that Jagannath Mishra, he's chastising, the other personality who came into the dream to chastise Jagannath Mishra. Hey, why are you chastising your son? You don't know who he is. He is Swayam Bhagwan. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He says, I don't care. I am his father. And if the father will not correct the child, if the father will not teach the child, then how he will become a good person in the future? It is my duty to do that. And Krishna enjoyed it more than the Vedic hymns. I mean, can you see, such is the education, Prabhu. Today's education is really far, far away. Education are meant, or even the sports. When the people used to play sports, the purpose was to come into the rules and regulation. Because all the sports come under rules and regulation. You cannot do this, you cannot do that, you cannot hit him. You can, like a soccer, Soccer, you cannot hit somebody with your studs, with your foot, and to hurt somebody. Okay, you just have to use your head, you have to use your chest, you have to use your leg to play soccer, no hands. If you do so, plenty is there. So everything, there's a rules and regulation. But when it's come to spirituality, become free. Enjoy as many as opposite sex, enjoy as many as liquor, meat, do this and that, and you can be completely spiritual. No, you cannot do this, Baba. If we are on the road, okay, traffic lights are there. It's a rule. We go to bank and someone offices, rules are there. Be in the queue, wait for your call, okay, sit over there, take a token, wait for your call to come. There's so many rules. Why? To create peace and harmony in the society. So why not there's a peace and harmony while practicing spiritual life? Make sense? We cannot use our own mental speculation when we go to schools and colleges. We need to follow the curriculum or the system set up by a particular institution, particular schools and college. We cannot say, no, sir, you are wrong. It should not be done like that. I know my way. I will do my own exams. Okay, you can do, then you are failed. So the spiritual life, all the paper, all the books, all the practical exam, all the theory, all the assignments are designed by Lord Krishna and his assigned teachers. Bona fide teachers like Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Srila Prabhupada, and many other acharyas. This is the assignment, this is the curriculum, this is the examination paper, and these are the books to read out throughout the whole life. Because at the end, you are going to sit in your final exam, and that is that. So, sir, when is that examination date? It can come anytime. But that is not fair. It is fair because this is spiritual life. So we have to practice every day, like a very obedient students. Thank you for nice sharing this reflection. Anybody else? ओके, थैंक यू. श्री चैतन्य चरितामृता की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे.